Hey, Scruffy, how you doing? You're quiet. So I got a flea pill for you tonight. So I hope you cooperate. I don't know how well the flea pills work when they're refrigerated. I have to save your food. Oh no, you're running away. Not off to a good start. So Scruffy cooperated at lunch today. So maybe he's not that hungry. So he was very cautious and reluctant at lunch. Sort of like now, but he's actually a little more cooperative right now. But yeah, he's kind of hesitant to start with. He got a very meow. Yeah, got a very slow start at lunch. Wasn't sure if he was going to cooperate, but eventually he really got into it. Oh, there's meow. Oops, some mat. I think on his neck. So, so maybe in a month and a half, all the mats will be gone. I hope when he finishes shedding. Usually takes him a while to shed. I actually think he shed it pretty late in the season last year. It took a really long time. And then I thought he was going to shed more fur on his hind legs, but he never did. So the weather was nice today. It warmed up again. Today is a really nice day. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to enter a heat wave. So every day is going to get a jump in temperature. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter throughout the end of the forecast. So I'm getting kind of worried. So tomorrow's so today was nice. Tomorrow it will start. It'll probably be nice, but it'll start getting that cusp of starting to get a little too hot, a little uncomfortable, and then it just keeps going up from there. So I went for a bike ride today, and yeah, the weather's just right. And I think tomorrow I'm going to go for a short run, and then probably take a off day or rest day, recovery day or something. That will be one of the first really uncomfortable days. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to linger for a while. So then, following day will also be possibly even hotter. That puts me back into, okay, what am I going to do? So I might do a bike ride. To play it by ear. So there's a chance that the forecast is wrong too. So they've been predicting it's been going to get hot for a few different times recently, and never quite got as high as they had predicted. So I'm kind of hoping that it does the same thing, or it stays reasonable instead of hot. Scruffy is the groom, so that's why I'm bringing out the flea pill. Because Scruffy seems to be freaked out by the earth. Really like to use the earth So I think it's a better, longer-term solution. So I'm worried that, yeah, the pill's not going to last very long. But my thinking for giving it to him tonight is, so tonight's going to be, it's going to be okay. So actually last night it got much colder than I expected. So I actually didn't turn on the furnace again because I thought we're entering a warming trend, and so I won't need the furnace anymore. And I was actually shivering last night in bed. Woke up in the middle of the night and I started shivering, or was shivering. So, so it's possible tonight might be a little bit on the chilly side again. So my thinking is, yeah, Scruffy might go to a sheltered area like the shelter or something. His places where he goes to stay warm at night. But then as it warms up, he'll start moving around to different places because he won't need to be so warm and actually be looking for places to cool off. And so my thinking is that if he keeps moving, he may avoid reinfesting himself as the fleas jump off in the different spots. So tonight they're going to jump off in one of the cold places, and then as it warms up, he won't be going back there for a while. Hopefully he won't pick up the fleas again. So we'll see if that works. That's presuming he actually eats the pill tonight. So I crushed it. It's in his food, but yeah. So there are two things that can spoil tonight. So one, he doesn't eat, but he's cooperating right now, so I don't see it. I don't see him walking away without eating. The other possibility is he throws up. That would suck. But of course, he likes to eat his own vomit, so he might still be able to get the pill, even if he throws up. I hope it doesn't come to that. There's a firm headbutt there. So, let's see. Yeah, at lunch today, yeah, Scruffy was very quiet when he greeted me at the door. He didn't really say much or anything. There might have been a very faint meow. Not sure. But yeah, he was very quiet, so I didn't think he was going to cooperate. And then I followed the normal routine. He went to the water bowl first, drank a bunch of water, and was trying to wait me out. And then after he finished drinking, he finally kind of walked over slowly and kind of got on the mat and got close to my glove where I could try to reach out and pet him. I wanted him to get closer. I didn't want to have to chase him. I wanted him to really come into the pets. So we compromised. He got a little bit closer, and then I moved my hand the rest of the way and started off very, very light pets. And then as time went on, he got firmer and firmer. I was actually planning to feed him sooner, but as he started getting firmer with the pets, and I didn't want to stop while he was just starting to respond positively to the pets. So I wanted to keep it going for a little longer. But yeah, intention actually at lunch is to get him fed faster so I can get back to what I'm working on. I don't intend to spend as much time at lunch as I do at dinner. But yeah, today I had to spend a little more time with him. Okay, I'm gonna get Scruffy's food so he can get his pill. Okay. There you go. So it looks like Scruffy is gonna dodge the brush there. Hey Scruffy, how you doing? You're waiting in a different spot today. Ready for lunch? Gonna cooperate today? Pretty quiet, huh? Let's give it a try. Feels like it's warming up. Okay, get the water down. Kibble. Get the glove. Scruffy's running away. So tonight we have the last of the super supper and kibble and rotisserie chicken scraps. And then of course the crushed pill. It's a very small pill, so there isn't that much dust to it. And this was also the last of the pills in this particular box. I had ordered one more box of pills. I have an unused box. But yeah, this box is done. They're pretty expensive. I'm not happy with that. Wish they were cheaper. And out of curiosity, I have looked at Flea collars, and yeah, they're pretty expensive too. And then I can't tell the difference between which ones are good, which ones are not so good, because the price variation is pretty huge from what I remember. So I couldn't tell, is it worth paying twice as much or 3 times as much for a flea pill? And yeah, and I was reading a bunch of reviews on different ones, and yeah, the reviews are actually pretty sad because there's a percentage of reviewers who say their cat died because of the flea collar. Not any specific brand, just going through enough comments. Yeah, you see, you basically, at least everyone I read, every one of them, something bad happened with the collar to some percentage of cats. And of course, they blame the flea collar. Otherwise, they wouldn't be writing. I don't know if it's true or not, but yeah, kind of scary. So yeah, I'm not going to get Scruffy a flea collar anytime in the foreseeable future. Mostly because I don't think that there's any way I'm going to be able to get it on him. He doesn't trust me enough for that. Yeah, the other thing I've read is it's a good idea to get a breakable flea collar, because yeah, cats sometimes get their collar caught on something and then they choke themselves. And since they're frequently running through tight spaces, and it's easy for the collar to get caught and the cat to choke. So Scruffy's feral and seems to roam the neighborhood, and I think I know where he gets out of my yard. There's a small gap under a section of my fence near one of the gates, and I think he crawls under that. And I think there was another cat I remember who was trying to get in that way too. And I think other cats use that same hole. Actually, if you go back to the footage a long time ago, close to when we first started, I actually sealed that hole, and then Scruffy somehow got out of the yard, but then was unable to come back in the yard. So I think he actually has a different way out than the way in. So he found like a one-way exit, but then he couldn't get back in, and then for several days, he was stuck out in the other part of the neighborhood because he wasn't able to climb back in. And I did see him try to climb. He's running away from me, and I heard him try to climb a fence, or my fence, and all I could hear was scraping. He couldn't get over it, and then he gave up and kept running somewhere else. Felt bad for him, so I moved. I unblocked the hole so he could get back in, and then after a few days, he figured it out, got back in. But yeah, I blocked it partly because there were other cats using it to get in, and I didn't really want those other cats coming back here. Boots was one of the cats, and he got really close to Scruffy. Boots was walking around here, checked out the water bowl. Scruffy happened to be sleeping on top of the table, and because Scruffy was asleep, he didn't notice Boots, and then I guess Boots didn't notice Scruffy sleeping on the table above him. But yeah, Boots is an aggressive cat. It's known to fight other cats, so I was a little worried about Scruffy getting into a fight because Boots is back here. And then there was another cat, I remember, that was kind of hanging around in my yard, in my front yard, and I think he actually managed to get into the back a couple times. And one time I caught him, he was perched out in my front yard, and he saw me. I was on the sidewalk, and he didn't like me. Didn't like me looking at him, and I knew exactly what he was thinking. He was about to bolt towards the backyard. He's going to run under the gate and flee to safety. And so I actually knew exactly what he was thinking, and I cut him off. So I right when he dashed, I dashed, and we raced to the hole. He was a little closer than I was. We had different routes, but he had to get around the bushes because he was in the garden. I had a little sidewalk, so I could just go straight. And we got there pretty close to the same time. If he had just done as he had planned and dashed for the hole, he probably would have made it. But he panicked at the last moment, and as I got closer, instead of going for the hole, he just jumped up into the middle of the air. I'm not sure what he was thinking. Maybe he thought he could pole vault the fence or something. But yeah, not even close. And so he jumps into the middle of the air, slams into the fence. His whole body smacks into it. And then he slides to the ground, and then quickly he gets up and then darts off the other way towards the street. And so uh, I think that was the last I saw of him in my yard. I think it was definitely the last time I saw him in the backyard, because I think I saw that cat. He had gotten to the back and he was hiding in some shelves I had back here. So he was very high up. I didn't notice he was high up until I walked past him, and then he freaked out and ran for it. So I jumped down and ran out of the yard towards the front. So anyway, I thought I'd plug the hole, and thought maybe Scruffy would be content just staying here. But no, he decided he wanted to leave, and then he didn't realize that his whatever exit he took was one way. Whatever way he got out, he wasn't able to get back in, and so I felt bad for him. I was debating if I should just let him stay out there, or if I should let him come back here, and try to entice him to come back here. And I saw him, sitting out in the middle of the sidewalk, just perched. I used to see him hit that a little more often, but in general. But now that he wasn't spending his time back here, I felt bad for him, because I know this is probably a much nicer and safer place to hang out during the day than the front and the street with all the other cats and people. So I put out a bowl of kibble and water near the hole to try to get him to realize the hole is open again and he can come back in. It took a few days, but he finally figured it out. But I know how to lock out Scruffy if I want to get rid of him. So at this point, I think if I get rid of Scruffy, it's going to be through a rescue group. So they're going to have to find Scruffy a good home. Scruffy, there's a bunch of food under the balls. So Scruffy's not done yet. He's going to have to eat the rest. Let him drink. So I don't want him to throw up, so let him eat slowly. Okay. Gotta eat the rest of your food. Gotta make sure you get all that pill. And then I gotta get away from him. So the pill may take 15 to 20 minutes to start reacting. Could take longer, like 30 minutes. But it's supposed to start acting fairly quickly. So I don't want to be around him when the fleas start jumping off of him. Let's see, a piece of kibble, and maybe a small piece of pate on the bottom of the bowl. But I don't think Scruffy's going to clean the bowl very well. So I think that's it. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.